Hey guys, welcome to Neat Movie News. My name is Dean Thomas, and it's time to boldly go where we've been before. About 13 total times. This is the third movie in the rebooted universe. It's Star Trek Beyond. Yes, the third movie in the J.J. Abrams sort of Star Trek universe. Although this movie is directed by Justin Lin, who is very much famous for his Fast and the Furious movie. And I think a lot of people were worried going in that this movie would just be nothing but action based on his resume of Fast and the Furious. But I have to tell you, this might be one of the least action packed movies in this new universe. But believe me, there's still a lot of action. Star Trek Beyond, I love this movie. It is so much fun. Basically, the idea is the Enterprise go out on this mission. They get attacked, as we've seen in the trailer, with all those little swarming bees things. And the whole crew gets separated. They're all broken off into little groups. You've got Kirk and Chekhov together. You've got Sulu and Uhura together. You've got Scotty and Jayla, played by Sofia Boutella. And then you've also got Bones and Spock. And what I think works so well about this movie is each of those little groups is off doing their little own thing, trying to get back together. But not a single one of them feels shortchanged. It feels like all of them got about the equal amount of screen time and the equal amount of time to shine and go through all of that, which really worked. To me, Kirk and Chekhov is great because Chris Pine as Captain Kirk in this movie really feels like Captain Kirk. It feels like he's finally the captain we've been waiting to see. It feels like in the past two movies he's just been more of Kirk on the Enterprise, but now it feels like he's captain of the Enterprise. Scotty and Jayla, played by, as I said, Sofia Boutella, who was the girl with the knife or sword legs in Kingsman. Their dynamic is really fun. Scotty's always such a fun character, but Sofia Boutella is so great in this movie, and she's been great in the two things I've seen her in. She's 2 for 2. So every next thing she's in, I want to see now because she's been great in everything so far. But the one group that really stands out was Spock and Bones. Their relationship's always been kind of funny because Spock's kind of the sarcastic, witty guy who likes to tell a joke, and obviously Spock is such a straightforward, no nonsense, no humor sort of thing, and that dynamic works so well. And Bones steals this movie. He's had almost nothing to do in the previous two movies, and in this movie he's given a lot to do, and he has the absolute funniest lines. And this movie's funny with every single character, so the fact that he steals that is, I think, says a lot about his character. Because I'm telling you, there's some moments that had the theater just laughing for a good 15 seconds or so, where it'd be they laugh really hard, you kind of hit that break, and then people would start laughing again because they just couldn't get over the jokey or whatever he just said. So that it just works so well. And then the action itself is really cool. It's really unique. It's really smart. The way it all plays into the plot and how they execute the action, I thought really worked well and was very interesting and kind of cool and unique, but fit Star Trek. That's the thing. This movie of the three really felt the most Star Trekky. Now, for me, who didn't really grow up being a huge Star Trek fan, like my dad and my uncles all watched the show growing up, so they were huge fans. So I've learned about it here and there. But to me, this felt the most Star Trek. It felt like there was a lot of fan service. I mean, obviously, I didn't catch a lot of it necessarily, but things would happen. I go, I bet that was something that was a nod to this or it was a nod to that. So I think if you're a fan of the old Star Trek shows and movies, or if you're new to, or if you like this new rebooted universe, I think you're gonna like this movie regardless. But the other thing that this movie does really well is I think if you hadn't seen a single Star Trek movie before, you would completely understand and enjoy this movie. They don't go so deep with stuff. They don't make all these callbacks and references. This is just its own movie, and it works really well. So the fact that they've already announced Star Trek 4 with Chris Hemsworth returning as Captain Kirk's dad gets me really excited, especially if Simon Pegg returns to write the script because he did such a great job of blending the old with the new, giving each character a fully fleshed out role. They felt like their character and they got a lot to do in the movie as well. This Star Trek Beyond is my favorite summer blockbuster out of the big budget action movies this summer. Star Trek Beyond has been my favorite. I just loved watching this movie. I had such a great time. So I don't know if you're prepared for quite the score I'm going to give this thing because I'm going to give it a 95%. The only issue I had with this movie was a couple of the early action scenes. A lot of really shaky cam and a lot of quick cuts, which was a little hard to tell what was going on. Plus, it's kind of dark, so it was kind of hard to follow at times. But after that, the action gets really smooth. It gets really easy to follow, and the movie's so much fun. I can't complain, and I have no other complaints. So a 95% is what I'm giving Star Trek Beyond. Well, there you guys have it. There's my review of the movie. Jump in the comments below. Let me know what you thought, if you've seen it, or what you're looking forward to if you have yet to see it. And make sure you're following me on Twitter at NeatMovieNews for all the latest in the world of movies. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see you back here next time.